Welcome, welcome, welcome. We got another episode of the NES Happy Hour in the house. Thank you. My live virtual audience. That's right, folks. That's production value. That's what that is. This is the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. I am your host, Master G. And for those of you who never watched before, here is my little co-host. There he is. Fitz. Fitz for Fitzgerald. Little, what is he, 9 months old now? A 9-month-old Boston Terrier puppy who likes to play Nintendo games with me here on the channel, Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. So that's the introduction. If you want to hear a little bit about what we do, allow me to tell you. This is the NES Happy Hour, a fully unscripted live show that features so much more than just retro games. We are going to be playing an NES game. That's a game from the Nintendo Entertainment System, circa anywhere from 1985 through possibly as late as 1994, believe it or not. That is the era of game. It is the original Nintendo Entertainment System you see behind me. We do not use emulation here on the show. These are actual cartridges that I play for my actual collection. I have these actual reproduction plastic cases, the actual game manual, and we put a little bar theme to it. So that's what the NES Happy Hour is. This is Happy Hour. If you're watching live, here in the US at least, it's 4 p.m. Eastern. It's time to knock off of work, make yourself a drink, relax on the couch for a minute, and play some video games. So that's what we do. That's what I do on the show. That's what I'm trying to share with all of you. I want to get through my whole collection, but most importantly, I want to get through each and every game in the NES library. That's all of them. Licensed, unlicensed, over 800. If you're counting at home, this is number 67 that we've played. So we have 67 episodes spread across 4 seasons. We have many more years to go. Each and every episode is more than gameplay. We start with an introduction about the game, but then we pivot. We make you a very special cocktail recipe to go with the game and to go with the show. So today's no exception. We have a very special cocktail recipe to go with today's game, Silent Service. We're going to get that recipe to you in just a moment. I have one already whipped up here behind me. You can't quite see it. It's just out of the frame. But it looks like a tasty one. It's kind of a tropical one because we're going to be spending most of our time in this game somewhere in the, I guess it's more the Western Pacific, but I still thought, that calls for an island-themed drink. So this is our tiki drink for Season 4. It's called Invisible at Night because this is a submarine game about the Silent Service and stealth. After the cocktail recipe, we crack open this manual you see behind me. I scan all my manuals into the computer. I put them up on the screen. I share them with you. We read along together because many of these games I haven't played. Or I've played just for 5 or 10 minutes to test them out when I got them for my collection. Today's game is one of those games. I know this one is heavy. I know it is a very serious submarine warfare simulation. And the instruction manual is pretty thick. And it might not be the best game for a live episode of the NES Happy Hour because I've never played it before. I don't know what I'm doing. And it seems to me like it has a very high learning curve. So we'll muddle our way through this game together after we read the manual. We'll play it for an hour, just casual gameplay. If you're tuning in live, chat with me. I'll cue the chat up on the screen so I can see it, and we'll try to figure this game out together. I know most of you have never heard of this game, certainly have never played it, so I don't think I'm in the minority here. I'm not certain, but I don't think this was a very popular game for children of the 80s and 90s. This feels like a dad game. This feels like a game that, if you were 6, 7, 8 years old in the 80s and your parents bought you a Nintendo and a bunch of games, they probably wanted to play a game of them for themselves, and this is probably the type of game your dad would have picked out for himself. It's not quite action-packed. It's very much a simulation. And I think it's probably pretty impressive what they accomplish in the 8-bit era, at least. But after that gameplay segment, we close each and every episode of the show with a bar trivia challenge to go with our happy hour theme. Like I said, you got cocktail recipes, manuals, gameplay segments, and then finally, of course, the bar trivia challenge. So today's no exception. 5 multiple choice questions I've prepared for you. Today's bar trivia is a solid one. If you fancy yourself a military buff, a war history buff, you're definitely going to want to tune in. As you can imagine, many of the questions are going to have something to do with submarines or submarine warfare. Well, looks like we got the crew filtering in right now on the chat live. Thanks, Tiffany Taylor, one of our regulars. It's good to see you again. I know we haven't had you too often this week or recently, so I'm glad you were able to make it today. I'm sorry about this game, because this game's a slow one. I mean, you might enjoy it. I don't know. I think I might enjoy it, but let me tell you a little bit about it. It's Silent Service. Silent Service is it's like a nickname presidents and rulers use to refer to the submarine divisions of their navies. They called them the Silent Service. If you're a member of the Silent Service, you're probably in the Navy, and you probably live and work and operate a submarine. And that's what this game is all about. The world is deep at war, and you're submerged among the enemy. I believe this is the World War II theater in the Western or South Pacific. Prepare to dive into Silent Service, the ultra-realistic submarine simulation that recreates authentic World War II sea patrols in the bloody waters of the South Pacific. From the second you take command, you'll live by the motto, find 'em, chase 'em, sink 'em, as you follow your instruments, charts, and your instincts in search of hostile convoys. Every decision you make will tempt fate, whether you risk a nighttime surface attack with deck guns blazing, or fire your last torpedo at a troop transport escorted by sub-killing destroyers. Your only relaxing moments away from the depth charges will come during torpedo and gunnery practice off the bomb-ripped coast of Midway Island. So batten down your mental hatches, and remember, only 2 inches of steel and your tactical genius come between you and a watery grave. And then you got some good screenshots there. Like I said, this is a simulation game first. I think a lot of this game you spend just trying to figure out how to operate your submarine. There's screenshots showing how to operate the periscope. There's all sorts of data on the screen. There's all sorts of gauges that presumably tell you your depth, your speed, your radar, sonar, things like that, whatever you got on the sub there. You got all your weapons, your weapon supplies, probably things overheat, probably your sub gets damaged. I mean, it's an intensely realistic simulation. As realistic as any simulation that was probably ever released in this era. And this one's copyright 1989. So you have to give it some credit, given how old this game actually is. We're going to play it. We're going to try to play it for an hour. We're going to try to at least figure it out today. We'll see if it's any good. You can form opinions of your own. I didn't play it in advance, and I probably should have, because, like I said, I think it has a very difficult learning curve. But that's why we have a cocktail recipe. And today's no exception. I just wrapped up a long day at work. There you have our Invisible at Night cocktail recipe, all original, brought to you by our mysterious mixologist, Parapluie626, fan of the show. And, I said, this is probably a good game for one of our tiki drinks, because we'll spend all of our time floating around in the South Pacific. I'd sure love to say we'd visit some cool islands and relax on the beach, but I think we're going to be stuck in a submarine the entire time today on the show. But that's okay, because we have a delicious rum-inspired tropical cocktail for you. It starts with a cocktail shaker filled with ice. You're going to pour in your white rum, 2 ounces of that, 2 ounces of orange juice or more to taste, an ounce of lemon juice, and then a half ounce of the orgeat syrup. I'm not sure if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's like a really thick, like white, almondy, coconut-looking type of liquid. It's very sugary. I think the flavor is almond. And you mix all that up in your cocktail shaker till it's nice and cold. Do not add the dark rum yet. After you've mixed up all your tropical citrus ingredients, you're going to want to pour all of it right into a tiki glass and leave yourself a little room at the top, because then you want to get a spoon, get your dark rum, and just very carefully pour it over the back of the spoon so it very slowly sits on top of the orange juice. And you will have a nice, beautiful layered invisible at night cocktail like the one you see right there on my screen. This one's garnished with an orange, but look, I actually nailed it, guys. Not only did I nail the float, because I totally screwed it up on yesterday's show. You remember it was supposed to be separated, but it wasn't. Not only did I nail the dark rum float, but I lost my train of thought. I don't know what I was going to say. Let me think here. Oh, but I also nailed the graphic. Because doesn't that graphic I made look exactly like this drink? I have to pull together these graphics after Paraplui, our mysterious mixologist, gives me the recipe. So I'm like reading the recipe. I've never made any of these drinks before. They're all original. And then I have to try to guess, when I do make this drink, what is it actually going to look like? So not only did I nail that float perfectly, but I think it looks like exactly like my graphic. I think that might be like one of the few times I actually get it spot on with the right colors for the orange, lemon, white rum mixture with the ice and the dark rum. So I'm going to go ahead and stir mine up. You saw it. You were witness to the rum float. I don't need that rum at the top. I want it all mixed in. I'm going to have a taste of that. Cheers, folks. That is delicious. So there you have it, folks. The Invisible at Night cocktail. You can drink along with me on the show if you're tuned in live or if you're watching a rerun later on the YouTube channel Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. Of course, if you are not of legal drinking age, Fitz and Master G do not condone underage drinking of any kind. So do not mix yourself up one of these. Fortunately for you, every episode of the NES Happy Hour now features both one alcoholic cocktail and one non-alcoholic cocktail. The non-alcoholic cocktail for week 2 of season 4 is the Condo's Cocoa. You may remember this one from yesterday. It's not so much a cocktail as it is a delicious and fun to make hot chocolate. That's basically what it is, a homemade hot chocolate, which you can whip up on your own. It is, after all, October. Fall is setting in. The weather is getting colder. You're looking for some cozier drinks, your hot chocolates, your hot apple ciders, your pumpkin spice lattes. Well, that's what this Condo's Cocoa is. 8 ounces of milk, a tablespoon of cocoa, a tablespoon of sugar, a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and another teaspoon of almond extract to give it all that delicious vanilla almond chocolatey flavor. You're going to want to heat it all up and top it with whipped cream and a little dusting of your cocoa powder. And you have a wonderful, delicious, warm, fall-themed cocktail, we'll call it, because you mixed it up. It's a special recipe, just like any other. That's pretty much just a tasty hot chocolate to enjoy. So try one of those. It's good. It's non-alcoholic, and of course that means it is Fitz approved. And those are your 2 choices for today. You can, of course, grab a snack, grab a drink, grab whatever you like, and settle in, because that wraps up the cocktail segment. We're about ready to share this manual with you. So like I said, you see the box, you see the manual sitting behind me. That is what we have up on the screen. So there she is, the Silent Service Manual. I told you, this one's a textbook. It's got a lot of detail. It does have some pictures, but after reading through this manual with me, I'm sure you're going to be overwhelmed. I was certainly overwhelmed when I was thinking about how I'm gonna carry this live show and make this entertaining, because it's pretty heavy. Like I said, they take the idea of making a submarine simulation game very seriously. So there it is. The front cover, your Nintendo Seal of Quality. Ultra is the game designer. And your limited warranty, all the Nintendos speak. Welcome to the world of Ultra. You're now the proud owner of this authentic version of Silent Service for the Nintendo Entertainment System. It was originally designed and developed by Microprose. This is a PC port, I believe, from PC games. We suggest you read the following instructions thoroughly before diving below the waters of the bloody South Pacific. So there you have it, folks. Find them, chase them, sink them. That is the creed. Just above the beat of your heart, you hear hostile propellers churning through calm seas. At any second, the first depth charge will explode. Your watch ticks. Sweat rolls into your eyes As the enemy's sonar ping intensifies, you hold your breath, realizing that the pressure of an unmerciful sea is all around you. Such is your life as a commander in the elite Silent Service Force, a detailed simulation of World War II submarine missions in the bloody South Pacific. From the moment you dive into action, you'll be confronted with the same information, problems, and resources available to an actual submarine captain. Your primary mission will be to take on the Japanese Navy in their home waters and to neutralize the Japanese Merchant Marine. With a limited number of torpedoes and fuel, your goal is to sink a maximum tonnage of enemy ships and bring your subs safely back to base. Your overall evaluation from Fleet Command will be based on the number and types of ships you sink. So go get 'em, Commander. Your crew is counting on you, because they know if you fail, they'll become instant shark bait. And there's everything you need to know about this simulation. The U.S. attack sub, officers' quarters, the bridge, number 1 periscope, number 2 periscope, your radar antenna, your conning tower, your forward engine room, aft torpedo, cruise quarters, control room, and forward torpedoes. Got that awesome little sub graphic there. There's 3 types of missions in this game. You got like a torpedo gunnery practice, which might be the one we start with, because this game looks really hard to just jump into. It places you at Midway Island. 4 old cargo ships are anchored there just for practice, target practice. Learn how to shoot your guns, learn how to shoot your torpedoes, improve your accuracy. Convoy actions are another type of mission. They recreate a variety of actual submarine attacks from history on a convoy. War patrols allow you to command an entire patrol, putting out to sea from submarine bases at Midway, Brisbane, or Fremantle. How do I say that? Continuing through a number of convoy actions and concluding with a victorious return or sunken dreams. So those are your 3 choices: convoy attacks, war patrols, or torpedo and gunnery practice. There's 4 skill levels. Midshipman is beginner, lieutenant, commander, and captain is the highest. Commander is designed, it says, to be the most historically correct. So if you play on commander difficulty, presumably it will recreate the battles, the ammo, the fuel, the odds as closely to the real battles that actually happened in the South Pacific. It affects the accuracy of your torpedo runs, damage from depth charge, skill of enemy lookouts, and sonar operators. We're probably just going to start with beginner. Like I said, when you see this game, it's a tricky one. It's definitely a tricky one. Combat difficulty levels, you can customize each mission with various combat levels. So, if you want to introduce elements that are more realistic to make the game also more difficult, you can opt into these. So you can set it for limited visibility. That means enemy ships beyond your radar or sonar range will not appear on any of your maps. You can set it for convoy zigzags. That means enemy convoys will actually perform evasive maneuvers. They'll change course at regular intervals. If you don't choose it, they just steam straight ahead unless they're attacked by you or encounter land. You could set dud torpedoes. Some torpedoes may just be duds. They may reach their target and just clunk off the hull of the ship. So that happens in real life. You can choose to include that level of realism in your simulation. Port repairs only. That makes it so you cannot repair your ship while under fire. You have to return to port to repair your ship, which is realistic. That's how it really was, right? You got your expert destroyers. If you turn that on, then certain enemy convoys are escorted by expert destroyers, the ones that are commanded by the more experienced crew and captains. They're more persistent, they're better trained, and higher skill level. And then convoy search, if you select that instead of close convoys, they'll not always appear within radar range, and you have to search them out. Meaning you have to use that periscope. You have to keep surfacing or getting up there to see if you can find them. And man, just adds a whole element of realism to the game. So additionally, you could set the overall difficulty to produce a factor from 1 to 9, and that's what determines your rank in the Submariner's Hall of Fame at the conclusion of your mission. So if you turn on all the combat difficulty levels, you set the skill level to Captain, which is the highest, you will get rated a 9 in the overall difficulty. And that means if you're somehow able to beat this game, you will be in the Submariners Hall of Fame. So terminology: port is left, starboard is right. Bearing is the direction you're looking, and heading is the direction you are going. So you can look one way while your submarine is steaming a different way. One's your bearing, one's your heading. Port's the left, starboard's the right. Raise or lower your periscope, you can do that. All kinds of rules. You can only use it in daylight only, down to a maximum depth of 44 feet. You have to control your throttle, your speed. Dead stop is 0, full speed ahead is 4. You can reverse, of course. Guidance control: to dive, move the arrow on the down pointer of the guidance control. To surface, move the arrow onto the up pointer of the guidance control. So that's how you sink and raise your sub. Left rudder, right rudder is pretty straightforward using those arrows. To cancel a dive and turn commands, move the arrow to the center of the guidance control and press the A button. You can also blow You can also blow emergency tanks by holding down the B button and pressing the A button on the second controller. This will halt an otherwise fatal dive and usually brings your sub right up to the surface. You can only perform this special maneuver once per engagement. Interesting. It's so realistic. I worry, I do. Games that try to be this realistic in 1989 on this old hardware. All right, time scaling. So yeah, it even breaks down the scale of time. So in order to ensure accuracy, all movements, sightings, runs, dive rates recalculated every 2 seconds of simulated game time. However, you probably don't want to go in realistic time because we'd have to just sail our sub in one direction for the full hour of gameplay, and we probably wouldn't even get an inch on the map. So you can speed things up. Normally it proceeds at 4 times real time. 1 minute of game time takes 15 seconds. If the F is selected on the clock, time scale is doubled. I don't know why the F equals doubled. Repeating that will increase the time scale up to a maximum of 32 times real time, which means 1 hour of game time will take 2 minutes at time scale 8. So we probably do want to speed it up so we don't spend all of our time just floating around in the ocean with nothing to do. Hopefully we can find a sub. We'll be lucky if we find an enemy target that we can actually try to sink in today's gameplay. The conning tower menu screen. So the conning tower is your menu screen. From this screen you can select any of the battle station screens, instruments and gauges, maps and charts, periscopes and binoculars, and damage reports. Of course, all of those should be fairly self-explanatory. I don't want to read this entire manual, but I'll leave it up there so you can read it yourself. You can also press the A button. The map screen appears. A button makes all of them appear. We're going to get into what all of them do on the next couple pages. But the quartermaster's log, located at the bottom right corner of the command compartment, is used to review your accomplishments. While you're on the conning tower screen, the simulation is paused. Some selections are unavailable under certain conditions. In order to get to this menu, press the select button. And then, you make your choices, press the A button to work your way through it. I think that's all we pretty much need to know. Stone Cold Parkin, good to see you in the chat, man. Hello, thanks for tuning in. We got a crazy, difficult, hyper-realistic submarine simulation game today called Silent Service. I told you this instruction manual, it's a textbook. They try to make this game as hyper-realistic as possible. Here are your combat controls. There's the controller for you, all the detail you see there. So your attack controls. You identify your target on the crosshairs. On the periscope binoculars, move the arrow to the target ID. To fire a torpedo at the target under the white crosshairs, move it to the torpedo firing control. Bow or aft tubes will be selected automatically. That's good, depending on which way you're facing. To fire the 4-inch deck gun, move the arrow onto the deck gun firing control. It can only be fired, of course, when you're surfaced. You can't fire your machine guns from underwater. And then you have to increase your deflection, so your angles and stuff. So how far things go and when it's moving away from you and gun deflection, you have to plan all this. It's like I said, Jesus, it's hyper realistic. I mean, this is just bananas. Oh, and to top it all off, you can actually release debris and oil. So you can dump your trash into the water or dump oil into the water, which presumably is a way to, it rises to the surface and may convince the enemy that your sub has sunk. So if you're trying to get away, you can do that to trick them into thinking your sub is sunk. You can only release your debris once per engagement. Good lord, this sounds hard. Battle station screens. Silent service contains multiple battle station screens. Each screen has different information available, different commands that can be entered. Stations represent the main locations from which the captain manages the battle. Not all controls are available at every battle station. So, War Patrol navigation maps, battle station. War Patrol scenarios only. You start on this screen. It's a map of the South Pacific Ocean. You're free to explore any area of the map. Your ship is a tiny white dot near the starting port of Fremantle, Brisbane, or Midway. The patrol screen simulates the time required to proceed from your base to enemy-controlled waters, as well as the patrolling activity between engagements. Moving on the map. Use the control pad, move the arrow in the direction in which to go. Time moves quickly while patrolling. Thank God. Let's just race up to the enemy and see what happens. That's what we're going to do. The ocean even changes colors to simulate nighttime and daytime. Bananas. Finding the enemy. When the ocean or screen border turns red, you've spotted a convoy. Press the A button to exit from the patrol if you would like to engage in battle. Enemy ships are generally found along heavily traveled convoy routes close to land. Tanker and troop ship convoys are more likely to be found near Japan. Getting home, the bases Midway, Fremantle, Brisbane. They're flashing dots on the map. When you reach your base, ocean turns green, you can return to port. Press the A button to end the patrol and record your score in the Hall of Fame. No other controls function on the patrol navigation screen. To make other controls work, you must exit the War Patrol. Oh my goodness, guys. It just gets crazier and crazier as we go. There are your instruments and gauges. Battle station. You need to know what all of these do. Your battery level. You only have so much electricity remaining in your battery systems. You have to recharge by surfacing. I'm sorry, I need a break. This is the hardest manual I've ever read. I need a little drink. I just need a little drink. Okay. Battery charge light, battery drain light. Your speed. Maximum surface speed, 20 knots. Maximum underwater speed, 10 knots. Your depth. 0 means you're on the surface. The maximum diving level is 500 feet. Your periscope indicator. If it's green, your periscope is up. If it's black, your periscope is down. Your torpedo ready indicator. Green means forward and aft torpedoes are ready. Black means they're empty. Reloading takes 10 minutes per tube. The number under each column indicates how many torpedoes remain in addition to those already in the tube. The number alongside shows the number of deck gun shells remaining, so your ammo essentially. Fuel levels. You will run out of fuel. You have 3 main tanks. When you're all out of fuel, you're all out of fuel, and you lose. I guess you're dead. I don't know. You're sitting duck. Depth under the keel. Depth from the sub to the ocean's bottom. When that gauge hits 0, you have crashed into the bottom of the ocean floor. Do not let that happen. It even tells you the water temperature. When the dial is in the blue section, the submarine is below a thermal gradient layer. Hiding below a thermal gradient layer can provide extra protection against the enemy's counterattacks. Your throttle. Thank God this is simple. 0 through 4. 0, you're stopped. 4, you're full speed. And you can flank and go reverse speed. You have a dive bubble. Shows whether the sub is diving or surfacing. The bottom line displays your current speed, depth, and heading. And then you have a compass, indicates your heading. You have a Christmas tree, indicates the status of all your hull openings. Green is closed, red is open in this case. Hull openings close automatically when you dive. And then you have your clock. What time is it in the Pacific? 7 p.m., 8 p.m., dawn is from 5 to 6. And that's your instrument panel that you have to constantly be monitoring. Here are your maps and charts in that battle station. You got your South Pacific map, your patrol area map, your navigation map, your attack plot map. Oh my god, there's so much here. Sometimes you can't, there's ships out there you haven't detected. They do not appear on the map. Your lookouts aren't always reliable. It's wise to leave the battle station, look around the horizon with the periscope and the binoculars. Good lord. Zoom. You can enlarge or shrink the scale of the map to any of 4 levels of detail, moving the arrow. Okay, so we can zoom in, zoom out. When the screen begins flashing, the enemy is either within range or you may have wandered off the map. You'll also notice as you patrol the seas, map color changes from dark to light. That's the passing of days and nights. All controls are available, plus release debris from the maps and chart battle station. Your submarine is a white dot. Torpedoes and enemy ships are black dots. Green areas are land masses that you could run into if you're not careful. The binoculars and periscopes battle station, where you peer through the periscope. Screen displays the view during daylight, dusk, dawn, the view from the bridge's target bearing, transmitter, binoculars at night. The viewing area shows an enlarged image of visible ships and land. The screen may be selected when the sub is on the surface or at a periscope depth of 40 feet, 4 feet or less, only during daylight hours. You, of course, have a torpedo data computer. When the crosshairs turn white, the torpedo data computer is activated and target tracking is displayed. TDC displays the range to the target's speed, and the target's course. To fire a torpedo, fire the deck gun or request information. Move the arrow onto the appropriate control. Press the A button. Then you have your damage reports and battle stations. So this is a snapshot of your sub. All these different areas are important. Bow aft torpedo damage, periscope damage, dive plane damage, fuel leaking, engine damage, machinery damage, battery damage, water damage. You're going to get damaged. Torpedoes won't fire when that's damaged. Periscope can't be lowered or raised when that's damaged. The submarine only dives or surfaces at half its rate when the dive plane is damaged. If you're leaking fuel, you run out of fuel, gas twice as fast. And then if your engine's damaged, your surface speeds are reduced by half. If your machinery is damaged, the extra noise makes you stick out on enemy sonar, makes them easier to see you and hunt you. Your battery is damaged. Your batteries are used up at twice the normal rate when you are submerged. If you have water damage, it means you're taking on water. Leakage rate is indicated in gallons per second. Leakage will cause your sub to descend. You're probably done. I mean, what worse scenario could there be? Like, we're taking on water in a submarine? Not a good thing. My son is my life. Loyal viewer, welcome to the episode. It's good to see you in the chat there. If anybody else is joining, say hello. I promise we're almost through this bananas manual, this realistic submarine simulation game. Good Lord, here are all the messages and sounds you may receive at any time from various members of your crew. They appear on the top line of the screen. You also hear sounds of your own engines, nearby ships, torpedoes. Pings for sonar, splash for depth charges dropped, explosion sounds for when they blow up, gun sounds when destroyers are firing on you, whistling explosion sounds when your sub is hit with a shell, torpedo launch sounds, torpedo motor sounds, deck gun sounds, distant explosions, hull creaking. Good Lord. Grinding sound when you run aground, when you hit the islands or the bottom of the ocean. Blow emergency tank, which requires both controllers to do. And collision abandoned ship, which I don't imagine there's much you do when you hear that sound other than just surrender and accept that you've lost the game. So yeah, that's how you do it. You get your ranking after you complete a mission. War patrol missions end when you return to one of your bases. Convoy action missions end when you select end of game. Tallies up everything you've sunk or damaged, and you get assigned a rank. So that's your Hall of Fame. Highest rank is WGSC, World's Greatest Submarine Captain. Here are some of your choices for your convoy action scenarios. Plunger in the Inland Sea, Lieutenant Commander D.C. White, Day. It's a daytime operation. You are submerged for most of it. It occurred in January 18th, 1942 at the latitude 3330 north, longitude 135.0 east. And then it tells you about all these real-life historical battles. This might be the most fun part. I mean, I guess we're like way over on the manual. Game Fun 124, good to see you in the chat. Well, I mean, I don't want to spend too much time because it's probably going to take us a full hour to get through this gameplay segment. There is a learning curve with this one, and I have not learned it. So here are all these real-life historical battles, which you can recreate yourself if you purchase a copy of this game for yourself. I will tell you, this game is very easy to find. It is very cheap. This is a sub $5 game, and this manual, you can have the manual for probably $1 or $2 if you can find a copy on eBay. So if this type of game interests you, get the game, definitely get the manual. It's all important for telling you what to do. There's a couple other battles in the South Pacific Theater. Wahoo versus Convoy, Mush Morton, 1943. You've got Hammerhead at Borneo. That was J.C. Martin in 1944. Sea Raven at Togol Milungi. I don't know where that was. Somewhere, some island off the South Pacific near the Philippines in 1943. So those are all a couple battles we could choose from. Tautog at Night. This is a night battle, 1944. Grayback in the China Sea. Radar operation with, it says submerged radar. Do they mean sonar? I don't know. Happened in 1944. Very, very difficult situation. 3 radar. Oh, you're being hunted by 3 radar-equipped escorts guarding the convoy. So you have to try to get them at some point. I don't know. They give you tips for how the battle was won and what you should probably do. Maybe depending on which one we pick, we'll look at the manual. And then you have these massive war patrol scenarios. So if you don't want to do a convoy action scenario where you just roll around trying to sink anything you can find in the ocean, you have actual war patrols. So they're the true test, right? You got to scour Japanese convoy lanes, find, attack, sink the maximum amount of enemy shipping. You can encounter a wide variety of situations, opportunities, dangers. Each submarine is equipped differently. Your tactics should take into account strengths and weaknesses. You actually have to hunt them. You have to creep up on them from afar. You have to find them on the map. You have to evaluate what you have found and how the best way to go about sinking it is. You have to plan your attacks, and you have to do so from within the submarine. That's right. It's a simulation, a first-person simulation, just by looking at the dials, the controls, using the periscope. You have to figure all of this out from within your submarine. And here's the little map that tells you where the standard Japanese convoy lanes are. So if you want to go to those sections, you're more likely to find ships going from point A to point B along those lines. If you just sail way out to Hawaii, you're not going to find much. It's mostly open ocean. A lot of their ships moved between land ports. And there it is. You got yourself torpedoes. Primary armament is 6 torpedoes. 6 torpedo tubes forward and 4 tubes aft. Total of 24 were carried, 14 forward, 10 aft. Reload requires 10 minutes. Range of 1,000 to 3,000 yards. Best torpedo attack is one perpendicular to the course of a target ship, obviously. Torpedo data computer. You got to feed all the information in. What speed you want to launch the torpedo, the range, the course. It automatically calculates the correct torpedo track. Captain often aims slightly ahead or behind, depending on whether or not you expected a change in course. And you should fire a spread of torpedoes. That way you're more likely that one of them will actually hit the ship you're trying to hit. Once the torpedo tracks are spotted, convoys tend to zigzag radically. So it becomes very hard to hit a ship with a torpedo. And all of that is realistically recreated in this game. Deck gun can only be fired when you're on the surface, using periscope and binocular screens to aim the gun. Range is automatically set by the TDC, but you have to add or subtract deflection from the range, depending on speeds and direction of your ship that you're pursuing. And it tells you all about making those calculations. Like I said, a lot of math in this game. Hyper realistic. Japanese convoys. We're almost at the end, I promise. They generally traveled in small convoys, 3 to 7 ships, cargo ships, troop ships, tankers, destroyer escorts. Tankers were the most important targets. Japanese were critically dependent on the flow of oil to keep their fleet in operation, so you want to sink as many of those as you can. Submarine tactics, very much a team effort by the whole crew. Captain makes crucial decisions. We'll see if I can actually sync one thing in our gameplay segment today. Hopefully we'll be able to figure it out. Escape. Occasionally you have to flee. I feel like it's easy to escape with the submarine. Just dive and speed away. But, we'll see how smart the enemy AI is if they're able to hunt me and track me with their sonar. Advice to the captain, make sure you understand the TDC. Most torpedo shots should be made with the periscope crosshairs directly on your target. Make sure you understand the distinction between bearing and heading. Pop quiz. Bearing is the direction in which your binoculars are looking, but the heading is the direction your sub is actually facing or moving towards. So you can look a different way than you're heading. Right. General, make submerged attacks in daylight, surface attacks at night. During dawn and dusk, you can try both. All that was on that screen. I forgot to advance the page. And then treat your cassette carefully so it lasts forever, your compliance, your high scores, and the back cover. Guys, that was exhausting. That might be the most exhausting but well thought out and thorough manual I have ever read in my entire life, and we will probably ever find on the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. We're going to need a short 3-minute break so I can catch my breath, so you can make yourselves a drink, so I can drink some of mine. Cheers. Take a breather. Get yourself a snack. Get yourself something to drink. Meet me back here live in 3 minutes. I'm going to put the ad roll up, and when we return, we will fire up Silent Service on my NES for the very first time, and we'll see if we can figure this game out together. There. All right, folks, we're back on the NES Happy Hour with little Fitzy and Master G. I'm Master G. This here's Fitz. Hopefully he'll curl up in my lap and take a nice nap while we play the game today. That's what he likes to do. Oh, big yawns. At least he made an appearance this time. He had no interest in being on TV yesterday. All right, guys, you know the drill. Say the prayer to the NES gods. I actually think this one's going to fire up on the first try. I have a pretty clean copy of this one. Ooh, Elect Man, good question in the chat. Have I ever played Earthbound Zero Mother? I have not. But I definitely want to get myself a copy, a translation, a port, like a homebrew or something. I love RPGs. I still haven't figured out how we're going to do RPG games on the show, because I only play for an hour. I don't really know, like, what to do with the RPG games, because, like, if I just play, like, Dragon Warrior 1 for an hour, all we're going to see is, like, me killing blue slimes outside of the first kingdom, you know? I haven't figured it out yet. That's why we haven't played any other RPGs besides Faxanadu, which is kind of an action RPG. But there it is, Silent Service, the submarine simulation game. I said first, look, it's like a mouse. You see that? Like, because this is a PC port. It's one of those like, oh, this is supposed to be a mouse, and instead I have an NES key controller. Let's do practice first. So, you can set all these settings. So you have unlimited visibility or limited visibility, zigzags or no zigzags, no duds or duds. Yeah, I mean, we're just gonna have to figure this out here. We'll do fake settings and practice just so we can figure out how to control this sub. So easiest difficulty, all the free unrealistic things like you can see forever, nobody avoids you. No dud torpedoes. You can repair your ship whenever. Overall difficulty, 11111. I have thought about, this is a question in the chat, can I play bootleg games like homebrews? I've thought about that, but really we have like 800 games to get through first before I start doing that. And if you're asking, can I play games outside of the NES? I do play games outside of the NES. We have a couple new segments, PC Pandemonium and the Mystery Box. I'm going to play those games on the channel, and they'll be games from any console from like the 70s up through like the PS2. So look out for that in the future. But no, the NES Happy Hour is only NES games. We're going to get through the whole library. That's the point. I want one episode for every single game that was originally released. All right, this is it, guys. I don't know what I'm doing. Like, I'm the white dot. This is what I mean. Like, what am I supposed to do? Can I go fast? Let's go fast. Does anybody see me? Can anybody see my submarine? I'm assuming I'm that like white dot like way up there in the corner there. Is that me or is that where I'm supposed to go? What if I hit select? I can study the maps. Okay, the maps are not helpful. Wait. Do I zoom out? Maybe I zoom out. Whoa. Oh, okay. So I just needed to zoom in. So I am trucking along. There's my submarine. Let's zoom out a little. Alright, so I am the white dot. And I'm presumably I'm going to do target practice on those 4 targets. Okay. So just a little bit of navigation practice first. Like I don't know if I'm like close enough. Didn't it say in the manual it's supposed to flash when I'm like in range? Does anybody remember how to speed it up? Because I feel like this is taking forever. Alright, here we go. Alright, full stop. Full stop. Okay, here's the question, right? I know my torpedoes are really only good from 1,000 to 3,000 yards. How do I know how far away that target is? Because I got him lined up in my sights. Yeah. Okay, so he's 21, 25 yards. All right, so if I launch a forward torpedo, I should hit him. Ooh, Game Fun 124 in the chat. You have Bucky O'Hare on your NES. It is a valuable game. Yeah, that's a rare one. I haven't come across any copies of that lately at the game store. My local game store has a copy of Chippendales 2, and another local game store has a copy of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles Tournament Fighters. Both those games are really rare. $150, $200 type of games. What else we got here? So I'm saying we're good. I'm saying we can launch this torpedo. Does anybody else disagree? I think I just want to go to the weapons station. Where's the weapons station? View gauges. I don't want to view the gauges. No, I don't want to end. How do I have to like climb up here? Where's my torpedoes? Check damage? Quartermaster's log? I don't want to view gauges. I don't want to use the periscope. I don't want to study the maps. Where is the shoot the guns? That's what I want to do. I want to shoot the guns. How do I shoot the guns? I mean, they're just sitting there. This is just target practice, right? So I feel like I just need to figure out how to shoot the guns. Is it this? Do I just click on it? Oh, you just click on it. Oh, there it goes. You see it? Let's see if we can hit a ship. It's kind of slow. Kind of a little boring. Oh, we got him. We got him. Sonar. Distant explosions. Ooh, mule. That's a good question in the chat. I should play those games. I'm gonna play every game. I don't have that one in my collection yet. I only have 400 games so far, roughly, give or take a few. So I still have another 400 I still need to find and purchase. But you know, it's gonna be a slow process, guys. I do have a day job. I'm fine, you know, I'm working, but you got to understand, I don't make any money off of this, not a penny. In fact, this costs money, you know, because of the advertising and things. So you got to give me a break. I'll build my collection up over the course of the next couple of years. 400's a good start. that'll get you at least, 3 years, 4 years worth of NES Happy Hour episodes. But you gotta let me work on my collection still. I'm not all the way there. I only have 400 NES games, which is a lot. Let's be real, that's a lot. All right, well, I mean, okay, so I don't understand the point of the simulation. Everything's just gonna sit there. I figured out how to move. I figured out how to launch a torpedo. I guess we could figure out how to do these guns in case we need to use those. Oh, I sunk it. Alright, interesting. I don't know. Screw it, guys. Let's just get into the gameplay. I think I figured out... If I can figure out how to move and I can figure out how to shoot, I think that's enough to do a patrol. So that's what we're going to do. I sunk a tanker, Ensign Class 5. Beautiful. Do I have to enter... I have to enter my name. Oh, look, that's cute. It's Morse code. It's Morse code. Will it let me be Master G? Oh, it even does the beeps. Hyper realistic. Master G. Training mission completed. End. Fiend, as they say. The Tang, Spade, Bowfin, Seawolf, Growler, and Master G in last place. I'm just an ensign. No worries, man. If you're just tuning in live, we're playing some Silent Service. I did sink something you might be curious to know. Now, it was a stationary target set up there for target practice, so it wasn't moving. All I did was figure out how to use the maps, figure out to move my ship towards it. I positioned myself about 2,000 yards away. I shot a torpedo out of the forward tubes. I hit it. Then I switched to my deck guns and I sunk it. And I figure that's all the tutorial we need, right? Let's dive right into a mission. So let's do a convoy action next. How about plunder in the inland sea, or maybe Wahoo versus... I want to do a surface attack so I can use the guns and the torpedoes, right? So I'll do a day surface attack. That seems like a bad idea. Maybe like a night attack? Okay, let's just do a day surface attack. Yeah, we're definitely going to turn off all the realism and make it as fake as possible. Unlimited visibility. I don't know. What do you think? Do you think I should turn any of these on? I probably don't need the extra challenge. Let's see if it's too easy first. What are we doing? Oh, okay, first thing we do, guys. First thing we do is stop. Like, I need to zoom in and see where I'm at. Am I on someone's tail? The black dots are the enemy ships. Like, I am on someone's tail. Alright. Let's do the periscope. Well, shoot, look. How far away is he? Why don't I have a target range? Oh, okay, there we go. I need to get within like 2,000 yards before I launch a torpedo. Man, how do I turn again? Does anybody remember how I turn left? That's how. Oh, right here. Left rudder. Okay, I'll stop. You're on the surface. Okay, we need to. Let's inch forward. How about let's inch forward? Where are they going? Alright, I'll stop. We need to all stop. I just lost. It's too realistic. Alright, let's hunt them. Let's hunt them down. Full speed ahead. I mean, they can see me because I'm on the surface, right? Are they going to fight back, you think? I hope they fight back. I mean, they got to be realistic. Wait. What's going on here? Why are they... Oh, they're firing on me. Oh, no. I got a zigzag. We got a zigzag, guys. We got a zigzag. They're firing on me. Alright, that one's 3,000 yards. Look, they turned. They turned to be perpendicular to me. They are smart enough. Because now it's going to be impossible to hit him with a torpedo. Although this guy looks like he's getting ready to line me up for a torpedo. Holy crap, this game is realistic. Did I get hit? I got reports of firing, but how do I know if I got hit? Ooh, shell hit. Sub damaged. You're right. I did get hit. Alright. Let's go. Man, this is stressful. This is really stressful, guys. Alright, he's there. I'm launching the torpedo. Gun. Done. Get him. Let's dive. Is that how you dive? Oh, no. Periscope down. How do I dive? I want to dive. Okay, go back up there. Go back up. Is he gonna hit him? Is my engines? Scope underwater. Oh, simulation suspended. I did dive. Alright, hold on, I gotta go back up. How do I raise my depth to 44? This is just the periscope. New gauges? Oh god. Is it this? Oh, it's the up. This game is hard. This game is hard. Oh man. GameFun124 in the chat. Master G, do you have any of the Castlevania games? I do have some of the Castlevania games. I don't have the first one though. It's crazy, right? I have 400 NES games. I've never acquired the first Castlevania game. Isn't that nuts? I always think that's funny. Alright, fine. Alright, go to the gauges. Alright. Here's our periscope. Okay. We're submerged. Wait. Let's stay down. We're underwater. I'm gonna just shoot a bunch of... Is someone on top of me? I sunk an enemy ship. I'm gonna sink another one. I'm just gonna start launching these torpedoes full speed ahead. It looks like I'm slightly off. Oh, I hit it. Dude, I sunk something. I felt like I saw out of the left side of the periscope, like, dude, I am creeping right up on this guy. I don't need to hit him perpendicular. He is done. Surface. Let's use the guns. Sunk him? Down we go, baby. Clear the bridge. Dive. Let's get down to like 43 feet so I can still use my periscope, but I'm underwater. There it is. Man, I'm getting the hang of this. I thought I knew this would be hard, but I must say, yeah, it must be scary. I'm playing an 8-bit version of this game, and I'm terrified. Must have been scary to be in a ship and an enemy sub was spotted. Jeez. You're not kidding. Okay, here we go. You think I got him lined up? Let's do it. He is tracking away from me, so maybe if I just increase my speed, he'll stop. He's running. You know what I mean? Whatever that... oh, my repairs are complete. Good. Good, good, good. I did take damage. I mean, I think I got this guy. I'm going to run out of torpedoes, right? You don't have an unlimited supply of torpedoes. I'm going to surface and finish him off with the guns. I think the timing's right. Let's surface. Right as the torpedo hits him, I'll be surfaced. Oh no, I got ahead of myself. Oh, I sunk him. I don't even need to surface. Alright, let's go down a little then. Let's go back down. Alright, full stop, full stop. Let's go silent. We need to look at the maps. We need to find other targets. We are playing on the easiest difficulty with unlimited visibility and everything. Alright, so there are more targets. I need to turn and find these ships. Okay, so they're behind me. Okay. Alright, so let's turn around. Let's go to, we were at 270, so we need to do a full 180 to 90? Yeah. 90 degrees. Yeah, the Castlevania games are fun. If you guys are reading the chat there, I definitely need to get them for my collection. Like, there's no doubt about it. I don't know why I've just never been able to get a copy of Castlevania. It just feels like one of those games that, like, I don't want to pay $30 for it at the store, because if I buy eBay lots, like, for other games, it's going to turn up in one of those. Like, I just kept telling myself, like, when I was just starting out and I was buying lots off eBay, I just kept telling myself that eventually you're just going to get a copy of Castlevania. Like, it's not an uncommon game. It's very common. It's just nobody sells their copy of Castlevania. But, like, I never have. I've never come across it. You know? And not just Castlevania. I've never come across a copy of Contra either. I have Super C. But nobody has ever had a copy of Contra in the lot. Man, I'm not catching up to this ship quite as fast. That is a ship, right? I mean, I didn't turn the full 180 degrees. And I think it was Mitch or MCats, one of our regular viewers, was saying, like, he's a Mega Man expert and he really wants me to play Mega Man. I do have Mega Man 1, 2, 3, and 4. I wanted to start with Mega Man 1 on the show, and that's the one I don't have the manual for. I have the manual for the other three, but I don't want to feature Mega Man 2. I want to start with Mega Man 1 and then just do them sequentially at some point. So I'm thinking about just paying $50 for that manual. That's a very expensive manual. The Mega 1 manual probably costs more than the game. It's hard to justify paying that much for just a manual. But, like, dollar-wise for my collection, I mean, I don't really have, like, really rare games. Like, probably the most valuable combination of game and manual that I have is, I mean, it's probably the Cryon Conquest. I think it's like a $70 or $80 game and maybe like a $30 or $40 manual. That's it. I mean, you can get Battletoads and Double Dragon if you can find it for like $60. I don't have any like $100 games. Not yet. I would say to be honest, like, of the 400 games I've collected, I think on average I probably pay between $5 and $6 because I bought a lot of eBay lots. So if you can find eBay lots where, you know, it's 30 games for $150, you're only paying $5 a game. You know, so most of the games I've acquired, I've gotten for very cheap on eBay lots. But I'm at the point now where I can't do that anymore because every eBay lot I think about purchasing, I have like 19 of the 20 games, and I just don't want to have to like resell games. You know, I am not close enough to this battleship or whatever this is. Like, no, don't surface. You need to actually dive a little. You are way too close to the surface, brother. All right, depth of 40. That's good. Let's track on him. I don't think he sees me. Is that crazy? Like, I really don't think he sees me. But he's still getting away from me. I need to get him to like 2,000 range. Oh, yeah. Yeah, I'm reading some of the chat now. And the same goes for the manuals too, by the way. I do buy lots of manuals, which means you can get a stack of manuals for like $1 a piece. The problem is when you do that too many, well, after you do that for a while, you have all the manuals. So if somebody's selling on eBay lot and it's like, there's one manual I want, but I have to buy 30 other ones that I already have, and then I have to resell them, and I don't think I can do that anymore. So I think from here on out, for the last year or so, I've only bought games from the game store. I haven't bought any games off of eBay except for like once or twice, like single games that I just really wanted. So from here on out, I don't think I'm going to be buying eBay lots anymore. I don't know, man. I'm slowly gaining on him. He apparently has spotted me because he's turned his ship, you know, so he's not perpendicular to me anymore. I mean, I still don't think that's a problem. Oh, you know what? Because I have the zigzags turned off. You remember, like, when you set the difficulty settings, like, you can turn off zigzags so they don't dodge you. They just go in a straight line. It's probably too easy. Because now that I got him lined up, like, I can't miss. There's no way I can miss him. He's not going to dodge my attack. I could probably just launch this torpedo now. It's going to take a minute to get to him, but I'm going to get him. Alright, so if Master G can learn this game pretty well in the space of 20 minutes, maybe the difficulty curve isn't that high. It's starting to intrigue me about, like, I really should up the ante a little bit. You know, make it a little more realistic so they zigzag. They try to, like, dodge me and stuff. See, like, I hit him there, but it seemed like I was a little off track. I'll launch another torpedo. So I could probably make them zigzag. So if they spot me, they'll start to do evasive maneuvers from now on, and it won't be so easy like this. What was the other one? Limited visibility? I turned that off so I could see everything, but maybe I should just float around. I'm just worried that, like, if I turn it off, I'm going to spend the next 30 minutes just floating around the ocean trying to find a ship to attack. And that's not fun for any of us. It's time to sink this one with the guns. Time to surface. Use the 4-inchers, baby. Here we go. Got him. Sunk another one, baby. God, we're good. It's the easiest difficulty, though, so it's not really fair. I sunk a destroyer, a cargo ship, a troop ship, and a tanker. Dang. Master G, how are you so good at this? I am tracking towards that ship, you know. I'm going to sink this one, and then we'll up the ante to the highest difficulty level, and we'll see how hard that is. How about it? Who wants to see? Who wants to see how hard it is on the hardest difficulty level? Oh, is this going to take forever? All right, let's just do the periscope. I'm going full speed in that direction, right? I haven't even been checking my fuel or anything. Oh my goodness. You guys ready for the bar trivia challenge? I have a good bar trivia challenge for you. Maybe I'm just a big fan of, like, the trivia about, like, war history. It's not all, like, about battles. It's more about, like, submarines and stuff. It's going to be a good one. You're not going to want to miss that. Here I am just drinking my cocktail while my sub goes full steam ahead into the ocean. I haven't really spent much time underwater, really, in this game. Just slightly below the surface. Alright, where is this ship? I'm getting tired. I'm getting tired. Oh, is he turning? Oh. Bastard's turning. Alright. I need to go left. Do you see him anywhere? Does anybody see him on the horizon? I mean, I turned a lot and I didn't see him. See, this is what I mean. This is what I feel like when I up the difficulty level to make it more realistic. I'm just going to be sitting here trying to, like, find dots. Because, like, that guy would be too far away. I wouldn't see his dot if I did limited visibility. Oh my god, I'm not... We're still going away from each other. Aren't we? Didn't our dots move away from one another just there? This is what the game's going to be. Just me staring at these dots all day. Okay, I still need to turn left. I still need to turn left. Ah, there he is. I found him. Man, I was just about to give up, too. Good thing that dot appeared. Ooh, he's so far away. That means we have time for a drink. I gotta let Fitzy out. I think he wants to run around. Good boy. You were good on the show, though. You were real good. Right. Have fun. It's not like we're missing anything. Wait, where'd he go? He disappeared? Oh, man, I was gonna say, it's not like we're missing anything, just waiting for our submarine to catch up to this other ship. Remember, your torpedo ranges, it said in the manual, are between 1,000 and 3,000 yards, so we have to get much, much closer before we... Do we even have torpedoes left? How many torpedoes do you have? I think it said 14 in the forward tubes. I probably haven't shot 14 torpedoes yet. Oh, a little off of my crosshairs. I'm going to sink this guy, we're going to end this mission, and then we're going to up the difficulty. Play for another 20 minutes, and then we'll do bar trivia. I don't know, guys. We've played a couple simulation games so far on the NES Happy Hour. I think Season 3 we played Battle Tank. I actually really enjoyed Battle Tank. That was another, like, first-person tank simulator game. I thought that game was way more fun than I thought it was going to be. You know, I wasn't going into it expecting much. But, I mean, this game's kind of the same. Like, I could get a little bit lost in this game. I will agree, it is kind of a little too easy with all the realism settings turned off. Like, I would like to challenge myself a little bit more with this game. Like, the fact that this sub obviously sees me since he went perpendicular. He's trying to get away. But, like, he's not performing any evasive actions, so I can just shoot torpedoes at will, and he's not even going to try to dodge them. Also, like, I'm on the surface. Why isn't he shooting me? You know what I mean? I feel like I have the difficulty too easy. Maybe it's not a... Maybe it's like a cargo ship or a tanker or something. Maybe it doesn't have guns. But, I mean, still... It's a little too easy, isn't it? I guess we'll shoot another torpedo. Why not? No sounds either. They don't give you a soundtrack because that's not real. That's not how it would be. You can't listen to tunes while you're in a submarine because it'll actually set off the enemy's sonar. They'll hear you listening to your music and they'll know exactly where your stealth sub is. So you can't listen to any music on a submarine. You have to just listen to the drone of the engines. There it is. I sunk all 5 ships in the mission. A destroyer, 2 tankers, a cargo, and a troop ship. My rank is Ensign Class 4. I'm just going to end. I don't, you know, Master G. We got up there. Is he going to let... What's it beeping? What's the Morse code for? There he is. Ensign Master G. I still got last place because I was on level 1 difficulty. I need to up the ante. All right, guys, let's do a war patrol. Let's do the US. I like the name of this one, the USS Tang. Let's get some Tang. We're gonna do that one, and we are gonna turn on dud torpedoes. I think I want to leave repairs under fire on because if I get hit, I'm gonna have to like dive and wait for the repairs before we can go back up and start hunting again. So at least this way it'll fix it. I'm gonna go expert destroyers, and I don't remember what this one was, so I'll set it on the whatever the easy one is. And then let's just up the difficulty to captain. Difficulty level 8. Are you guys ready? Are you guys ready? Here we go. Showtime. Oh, we're totally screwed. I don't even know. There's 2 blinking dots. Which dot is me? Am I the dot up in the corner there, or am I one of the dots at the on Australia on the map there? Wait, what was that? It just reset me. Why did it do that? All right, let's start again. Do duds, do that, do this to 4, and continue. Oh, okay. So I'm actually moving my dot now. I have 53 days of fuel, and I'm just patrolling? Wait, how does this work? Okay, so I can move like really fast. I'm that dot that's whipping around over here. I guess this is, what is this, Hawaii? It's not in the right place to be Hawaii. Enemy sighted. Excellent. Okay, so now what? Can I go? Enemy sighted. Let's do it. All right, here we go. Boom. Oh, dang. You're not kidding, enemy sighted. He's like, I'm like right on top of him. Oh, it's like all red. It's so realistic. All right, no, let's periscope up. Oh, it's nighttime. Dang, that enemy's like real far away though. All right, we need to dive a little. Oh no. All right, what are we doing? Want to dive like a little bit. Like we can keep the periscope up at 40, right? All right. Are we still trucking towards him? I mean, it says we're 1,500 yards away. It's crazy. Wait. Okay. All right. It's too dark for the scope? What? So I got to do this from the maps? Too dark for the scope, so I guess let's just dive a little bit more so he can't spot me. Because I don't need to be hit with like depth charges and that nonsense. Let's go to 80. Let's kick it up a notch. Which way is my dot moving? Am I going towards him? Slightly going towards him. Let's turn a little. I just need to get my dot moving towards his dot. Apparently most of this is just going to be dots, in case you're wondering. I'm going as fast as I can. I can't actually go any faster than this, so I need to get close enough. It's nighttime, so I'm going to have to do a surface. Well, I don't know. I could probably go up to like just below the surface and still launch torpedoes. But I don't know my distance. Like I need to make sure I'm within like 2,000 yards of him. You know? Oh no, I turned too far. So he spotted me? How did he spot me? I'm on his sonar. I shouldn't be talking. Guys, be quiet. He picked up my voice on his sonar. That's what happened. Now he knows I'm here. I just gotta toy with him a little bit. Maybe I can just get like a lucky shot off. Just put a torpedo out there and see what happens. Cause they totally know I'm coming. I mean, can I just go? I wonder if I just go full stop. If we just go silent, will they stop tracking me? What do you think? God, this is intense. They're still tracking me, but like they might just be coming to my last known location. This is intense. This is more intense than I thought it would be. All right, so the dots are coming at me. I have no idea how far away they are. I need to surface to get my periscope up. All right, let's just get up to like 42. Let's dump one and run. Like, what do you think? You think we can just do... Can we do the periscope? Oh, it's too dark. It's too dark for the scope. Can I shoot torpedoes at night? I can't shoot torpedoes? You're gonna make me... They're gonna make me freaking surface? You're gonna make me surface in my submarine against these guys. Holy crap. Alright. Alright, let's go full speed surface. Oh, we're in trouble. We're in trouble here. Alright, we're surfaced. Where are they? Where are they? I don't even know where they are. Are they behind me? Okay, here we go. Here we go. I'm gonna get on him, and I'm just gonna dump a torpedo, and then we're gonna go. All right, dive, dive, dive. Dive, dive, dive. I got one! Oh my god, I sunk one! Did I sink him? Oh, I didn't sink him. I sunk one! Alright, alright, alright. Destroyer's closing in. Destroyer's closing in. Alright, alright. No, no, no. Surface a little. Oh no, I'm sinking. Dude, I'm sinking. Like I can't surface because of something. Okay, let's shut her down. Shut her down. I must be damaged. There must be something damaged because I'm not actually surfacing. Where's the damage indicator? Where does it tell you how hurt you are? Oh, down there. Ooh. 42 gallon per minute leakage? Oh, they got me, guys. They got me. I got one of them, but this might be the end of us. Oh, no, no. We got some repairs. We are surfacing now. Alright, just stop. Everybody, just stop. Oh, no. I can't control my ballast here. Like I need to just like be stationary. That is the sound of destroyers closing in on me. All right, I'm stable at least. I'm stable. Why can't I see any of them? I can hear it getting louder in my earpiece. Like, I know you hear it. They're getting closer, but why can't I see any of them? just going to go to 42 and see if it lets me put my periscope up. Okay. Will you? It's still too dark. They're going to make me surface again and then spin around like a lunatic trying to find where they are. Like, I don't like this. They can see me, but I can't see them. Alright, I guess we're doing this. I collided. They were right on top of me, apparently. Did you see that? Collided with enemy ship. Game over. You sunk one destroyer. That was tough. So, like, he was right on top of me. I couldn't see him. He's tracking me on the sonar. You know what I mean? Like, that's how they do it. God, that is realistic, isn't it? So, like, he was sitting right on top of me, smart enough to track my movements, found me. I couldn't see him on the dots because he was directly on top of me. And then I surfaced right into the bottom of his ship. Had no idea. That's awesome. Guys, this is a pretty fun game. I mean, it's realistic. It's hard. They think of a lot of things. They've worked a lot of hyper-realism, we'll call it, into this game. I mean, there's no soundtrack, but it's still tense. Like, because you can hear the sounds of destroyers getting closer, you know? You can hear the sounds of shells being fired. You can hear the sounds of depth charges being dropped and exploding. So there is this level of, like, anxiety you feel while you're playing this game. An anxiety I did not expect to feel. I thought I'd be screwing around looking at maps for an hour, but it is a pretty fun game. Unfortunately, though, I mean, I think that's it for the gameplay segment. I hope you've seen enough to decide whether or not this game deserves a spot in your own collection. I mean, there were 4, 5, 6 different types of objectives. You know, for the convoy missions, there were 6 or 7, I think. And for the war patrol missions, there were at least 4, I think. So a lot of replayability. And they're all based on real-life historical missions. So you can read about them in the manual. You can relive them with ultra-realistic 1989 video game programming. But that's it. I don't know. I don't want to play again because then we're going to get into another 20-minute mission and then we'll be way over for the show. So since it's a live show, I think we got to wrap it up there. I think we got to call it. I think that's silent service. But the show is not over. It continues. We're going to take a 3-minute break. Again, I'm going to put the ad roll up and we're going to be back live right here where we're going to do the bar trivia challenge. I've prepared a really good bar trivia challenge that I think is going to be very fun. It's not too hard, or it might be too hard. I don't know. But one thing I know for sure is you'll walk away with a little bit more useless trivia in your brain than you had when you sat down to watch my show to begin with. And that's what it's all about. So don't miss it. Meet me back here in 3 minutes. We will see you then. All right, guys, we're back. The NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G concludes, as we always do, each and every live unscripted episode with the Bar Trivia Challenge segment. Now, some of you might be new to the show. This might be your first time. You might have never heard of this before. This is the segment of the show where I scour the internet for 5 multiple-choice questions that are somehow related or connected to the game we featured. Today's game was Silent Service. I hope you enjoyed watching me play it. I was pleasantly surprised at how fun and interesting that game actually was. I have 5 questions for you that are connected in some way to this game. This, you see above me, is your chat. All your chats from now on will appear in this box above me. I encourage live audience participation. It's one of the most fun parts about this show, and if you've never tuned into a live episode, you are missing out. You should make an effort to tune in live. You can participate. You can play along at home. If you want me to give you enough time to answer each question, say hello in the chat now. That's your cue to me, Master G. I am going to play. I am going to get my guess in the chat. So don't reveal the answer until I have time to guess. There are going to be 5 multiple choice questions in order of increasing difficulty. As always, there are 4 options for each of the 5 questions, A, B, C, D. I will give you a chance to respond if you confirm that you do intend to play. Otherwise, I'm going to reveal the answer when the timer counts down. Those are the rules for those of you playing at home. Let's get started. I love that sound. It's one of my favorite sounds on the show. We got one contestant. Anybody else going to venture to guess? Anybody else want to play the bar trivia? The Silent Service Edition. Ooh, I think you're the only one here. You're the only one who came back after the break. That's okay. It'll be you and I. Are we ready? I think we're ready. Question number 1 for you. All right, here you go. It's this. Which was the first American war to feature the submarine in battle? That's right. 4 choices, 4 wars. Which one was the very first time a submarine was featured in battle? Was it A, going all the way back to the very first one, the Revolutionary War against the Brits? Was it B, the War of 1812? Was it C, the Civil War? Or was it D, the Spanish-American War? I know, I have this one pegged as the easiest one. I don't remember what all the questions are, but I remember I thought about it, and I thought this is the easiest one. Not a good sign. What do you think your guess is? I'll give you 10 seconds to get your guesses in the chat. What was the very first American war that featured the submarine in battle? Those are your choices. Start the clock now. All 5 of these are really fun trivia that you should carry with you for the rest of your life. Son is My Life, our contestant, our live viewer. Your guess is D, the Spanish-American War. It's interesting. They are in chronological order. I see that you went with the latest war, which was an interesting guess. But the reason the trivia challenge is so much fun is because trivia is so interesting. Believe it or not, the Revolutionary War, circa the 1770s, was the very first American war that featured a submarine in battle. Yes, legend has it, a submersible was devised, sailed out to one of the British ships in harbor, drilled some sort of hole, attached some sort of powder keg explosive device, lit a fuse, and sailed away unnoticed. The very first submarine used in wartime in battle is said to have been used in the Revolutionary War, our very first war. So yeah, submarines going all the way back to the very beginning of warfare, at least here in America. Our very first war. We've been using submarines since the very first American war. Truth. All right. I hope you learned something from that one. Let's go to the second question. Let's see if we can get this one. Oh, yes. Well, you might know this one. I mean, if you pay attention, if you read news related to like the government or the military or just general interesting facts about what's going on in the military, you might know this. Traditionally, or you might be able to make a pretty good guess. Here's the question. Traditionally, U.S. submarines were named, a long time ago, after marine creatures. The USS Dolphin. Actually, I don't think they named anything the Dolphin, but that's the gist of it. They were named originally after marine creatures. However, the very newest current class of submarines that were commissioned are named after which of the following? So our current class of submarines that are commissioned are named after A, inventors, the USS Thomas Edison, B, chemical elements, the USS Plutonium, C, states, the USS Ohio, perhaps, or Pennsylvania, or D, actual presidents, the USS Clinton, the USS Bush. The newest class of submarines commissioned are named after one of the following. Is the answer A, inventors, B, chemical elements, C, states, or D, presidents? I'll give you 10 seconds to get your guess in the chat. Clock starts now. I'll bet if we had J.A. live in the chat, J.A. who used to tune in every episode just for the trivia would probably know this. Jay, I used to get all the worst questions right. So Game Fun's got to guess a C. My son is my life. You got to guess a D. States and presidents are the choices. Those are the two best choices. Inventors, chemical elements. You're right to think it's probably not those. States and presidents are the two that it could be. And the correct answer is C. States. The Ohio class submarines, all commissioned, named after United States states. That's the true story. Now, I'm not sure. I know they're already planning to commission a new class of submarines by like 2030. And I know those will not be named after states. They'll have to pick a new category then. I don't have written in my notes what that new category is going to be. I probably should have wrote it down. But this most recent class of submarines that they started commissioning, and I think that were deployed, that were built and deployed for the last probably 30 years, I think, are all named after states. Interestingly enough. All right, guys. That's 2 facts for you, 2 bits of useless trivia knowledge you can take home. How about number 3? Number 3 is this. Now it gets interesting. The very first nuclear-powered submarine in the United States Navy was commissioned on September 30th, 1954. That's right, a submarine powered not by diesel fuel, but by nuclear energy. 1954. Crazy to think about. The question, though, is this. What was the name given to that submarine? Was that submarine called the Trident? Was it called the Mako? Was it called the Angler? Or was it called the Nautilus? The name, actually not just a nickname, but the name of the submarine itself, given to the very first nuclear-powered submarine in the United States Navy, commissioned in September of 1954. Obviously, you can see back then we were still naming them after marine creatures, or they had a marine theme, but which one was the name given to that submarine? You have 10 seconds. I see a guess at B. Sons of my life, guessing B. Game Fun 124. Now that you're playing, I want to give you a chance. I want to give you a chance to get your guess out there. Your guess is A, Trident. Let me think here. How do I want to respond? We have a guess of A, a guess of B, a guess of Trident, a guess of Mako. If I'm being honest with you, those are the 2 coolest names in the list. I would probably have preferred to name my first nuclear submarine either Trident or Mako. But the answer is actually the Nautilus. A weird mollusk, I think. I think the Nautilus is like a shelled mollusk sea creature that's very deep sea. I don't know. That's what they named it. They named it the Nautilus. That was the name given to the very first nuclear-powered submarine commissioned by the United States Navy. Definitely not the coolest name on the list. I agree. Mako, name it after a shark. I mean, that's way better. I mean, Trident, that's pretty badass, right? You got that's the 3-tipped spear thing that Neptune wields. I mean, it is the first nuclear-powered submarine. Even the Angler, you know, the deep-sea Angler, that's that really crazy-looking fish that's like a skeleton with a light bulb hanging off of its head. I mean, that even would have been a cool name. But nope, they named it the Nautilus. True story. It is, in fact, that. Question number 4. I call this the hardest one. It was hard to put these in order of easiest to hardest, so you might have to just guess for this one, unless for some reason you have acquired this bit of trivia over the years of your life. Question number 4 is, which of the following historical figures is known for being the very first to descend beneath the sea in a submersible vessel of any kind? I don't think they called it a submarine back then, but there is a historical figure, a very prominent one, who is widely known to believed to have been the very first to descend beneath the sea in a submersible vessel. Which one of the 4 was it? Was it A, Julius Caesar, who descended beneath the sea in one of the earliest known submersibles? Was it B, Alexander the Great? Was it C, Leonardo da Vinci? Or was it D, Attila the Hun? One of these great figures from history, most of them leaders, commanders. Da Vinci's an inventor, a genius type. Only one of them has the distinction of being known as the earliest to descend beneath the sea in a submersible vessel. Which one is it? Starting the clock now. You have 10 seconds to think about it. Get your guesses in the chat. Son of my life, going with Da Vinci. That's a very good guess. Very good guess. Game Fun. Going with B. Going with Alexander the Great. Okay. Well, you might be interested to learn it was in fact Alexander the Great. Now, it remains to be seen whether or not that vessel was a war vessel or what its design specifications were, but after he conquered the entirety of the known world, the Persian, the mad Persian himself, Alexander the Great, actually thought, let's find someone to build me a ship that can go underwater, because I wanna conquer the oceans. Maybe. No, I don't know if that's actually how it went, but so the story goes. Alexander the Great was the earliest known historical account, a figure, a leader, a conqueror who actually descended beneath the sea in some homemade type of submersible, just to probably see if it could be done. Now, Da Vinci, that is a good guess, because Da Vinci did invent, in his drawings, we know, the concepts, the specifications, the design specifications, the breathing apparatuses, the ability to dive and rise the sub. He did invent all of that. And after he had done the drawings, he got terrified that it would be used as a weapon of war, and that if he ever shared them with anyone, the leaders at the time in the 1400s would use that power for evil, essentially. Design actual submarines, equip them with weapons, and sail about under the surface of the water in secret, and where they could wreak havoc on enemy forces. So he actually buried those inventions. I think we only found out about them later. But he is kind of credited, Da Vinci, with inventing the first similar invention, the first thing that looks very much like a modern-day submarine. He had it in his drawings. He just didn't talk about it much because he realized the enormous potential for a warship that could go undetected under the surface of the water. The other two I just threw in there to throw you off the lead. I don't think Caesar or Attila ever had any interest in going underwater, so certainly not them. All right, that's 4 up, 4 down. That was presumably the hardest one. I always save my favorite one for last. Are you guys ready? Question number 5. I can't even remember what it is. I'm just going to reveal it. Oh, man, I can't believe I forgot this one. Question number 5. This was one of my favorite questions to pull out for the Bar Trivia Challenge in general. You know I always save the funnest questions for last. If there's one thing you take with you, it's this. Impress all your friends with the answer to this question. The 5th and final question of today's Bar Trivia is, after feedback from actual officers about difficulties with the traditional submarine periscope controls, the U.S. Navy actually made the decision in 2017 to use which of the following to control the periscope instead. After feedback from officers and trainees who said, submarine periscope controls are really difficult to control, the U.S. Navy changed course and implemented a new control for periscopes effective in 2017 and deployed to operational submarines today. Which of the following is now used to control the periscope on actual submarines in the U.S. Navy? Is it A, automobile steering wheels? Is it B, Xbox 360 controllers? Is it C, cell phone apps? Or D, Oculus virtual reality headsets? One of these is true. A true story. As of 2017, the Navy has made the decision to implement one of these 4 choices to control periscopes on actual operational Navy submarines instead of the old control apparatus, which was very clunky, cumbersome, difficult to control, and difficult to manage. Which one is the control that they are actually using to control the periscopes today? You have 10 seconds to think about it. Get your guesses in the chat. Says My Life says A, automobile steering wheels. It makes sense, right? Everybody's used to that. That's a very familiar thing for folks to use. Everybody instinctually, if you've driven a car, you know, I mean, it's like second nature. The feel of a steering wheel, how to operate it. Game Fun 124 guesses D, Oculus VR headsets. I mean, it makes sense. They look just like the periscope, what you would see. I mean, why not? You all might be interested to know, however, that the correct answer, and I kid you not about this, look it up. The correct answer is Xbox 360 controllers. You know, all those young upstarts, those officers in the Navy from 2017, they were Xbox generation. I mean, we're all gamers. I don't know. I don't even care if you're not a hardcore gamer. If you were born in the year 2000 and you're 20 years old, you grew up with an Xbox controller in your hand. If not that, maybe the PlayStation, depending on what you are. But interestingly enough, the Navy made a concerted decision to change periscope controls on operational submarines. They are now controlled by Xbox 360 controllers, and the officers love it. Way easier to use, extremely intuitive. They're good at controlling the periscope with an Xbox 360 controller. And that's what they've started implementing on operational submarines. Additionally, the Navy says, you know, it's so much cheaper. You know, if the controls go down and break, they literally purchase, what is it, like a $30 controller? They have to purchase a $30 replacement controller. They can put 50 controllers in storage on every submarine. And if anything goes wrong with periscope controls, they can just swap out a new controller. Before, it cost like $30,000, $40,000 to fix the periscope controls. They had to sail back into port, get some old engineers working on it. Nowadays, it's all with an Xbox 360 controller. They control their periscopes with those. I learned that. That was a new fact I learned while preparing for this show. I did not know that until I looked it up on the internet and read all about it. I hope I wasn't duped. Look it up for yourself. Xbox 360 controllers, the answer. Isn't that cool? I think it is, man. It's the future, right? But like, it's not crazy when you think about it. It makes so much sense. If everything's digital and all of these young Navy officers are used to the feel of an Xbox controller and used to using it, there's so many buttons, there's so many ways to control things. Like, why wouldn't you use an Xbox controller on an operational submarine? It makes sense. Your crew would know exactly what to do. They would be really good at it. It would take them 30 minutes to learn how to control the periscope. They probably have to go to classes for weeks to learn how to use old periscope controls. Every one of them held an Xbox controller. Every one of them knows how to use it. It makes perfect sense when you think about it. All right, folks, that's it. That's the show. I hope you guys had fun with the bar trivia. Thank you. Thank you. And give yourselves a round of applause. Cheers, folks. Another one in the book. Silent service. Recorded for posterity's sake. Hey, if you like what we do, if you want me to keep making these episodes, all we need you to do to show your support is subscribe to our YouTube channel, Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. That is totally 100% free. The second thing we ask, if you want to show your support, just watch the videos. Watch our happy hour videos. Watch the mystery unboxing and gameplay videos. Watch the PC Pandemonium videos. Just watch the videos. It's totally free. That's how it works right now. We are not partnered with YouTube. We do not make any money from this show. We are not asking for donations, although tips are very much appreciated. In order for us to get partnered with YouTube, we just need more subscribers and we just need more watch time. So if you want to know the most important thing you can do to show your support, click the subscribe button, totally free. Watch a video or 2 or 3 or 4 or all of them. Watch them all the time, whatever you need to do. We just need to rack up watch time and subscribers. So that's where we're at. We're trying to get 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. You might have noticed we broke the 500 mark last night. So thank you, everyone. I don't know who was the 500 subscriber. I think they had their settings on YouTube to private, so I can't actually see the name of that person. So that's fine. But thank you. I appreciate we broke that milestone, 500, so that's pretty good. 501 as of right now. That's awesome. We're on our way to 1,000. We'll get there by the end of the year, I think. If you haven't done so already, check out our website, www.fitsandmasterg.com. A lot of great stuff there. It's a Streamlabs website. It's totally safe. It's navigable. It's got a window. You can watch our live show right there if you don't want to come to the channel on YouTube, Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. You can donate if you feel compelled to leave $1 in the tip jar. You can also write a message. It'll appear on the screen during the live show if you do that. You can purchase merchandise. That will also appear if you purchase it while we're live. There'll be a little alert up there. What else can you do on there? Our social media links are on there. So you can click the big blue Twitter button and follow me on Twitter. You can click the big red Instagram button and follow Fitz on Instagram. His Instagram is public. It's full of puppy pics. If you want to be a loyal follower of Fitz, get yourself an Instagram account. Go to our website, www.fitsandmasterg.com, and then click on the Instagram button. It'll take you right to his page. You can follow him on Instagram. He would love to have your support. He would. He really would. And that's it. So we're going to be back same time, same place tomorrow, 4 p.m. Eastern, live and unscripted here on Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G. You might ask yourself, Master G, what do you have planned for tomorrow's episode of the NES Happy Hour? And I will tell you, we will be playing. What will we be playing? I just looked at the trivia. I just did it a minute ago. Hold on. I want to get it right, because the one I have in my head is not the one we're going to be playing tomorrow. I was going to say Tecmo Bowl. We're not playing Tecmo Bowl. We're playing Tecmo Bowl on Thursday. Tomorrow, we are playing a really fun and unique game called Legendary Wings. You're asking yourself, Master G, or you're asking Master G, what the heck is Legendary Wings? Well, it's a hybrid space shooter / platformer. You fly around as a dude with wings, all Greeked out, but it's also in the future fighting robots. So just like Star Soldier last week, you're going to fly around on a vertical top-scrolling shooter, shooting enemies that fly in different patterns. And then after that stage, it switches to a platformer where you're like a little winged Greek guy and you jump around also doing regular platforming things, killing enemies that way, shooting them. So there's both platform levels and shooter levels. It's a really weird and underappreciated game that many people have not heard about. That's the game we're going to be playing tomorrow, Legendary Wings. And then Thursday will be Tecmo Bowl, and you're definitely not going to want to miss that. So I hope to see you all tomorrow live on the show for Legendary Wings, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Eastern. I hope you all have a good night. Take care of yourselves. Stay safe. We want to see you back here tomorrow, happy, healthy, and ready for more retro gaming fun. We'll see you then. Take care.